So, what do we know about how babies develop their language and communication ability? Babies are able to communicate as soon as they are born, even before they learn to speak. At first, they communicate by crying. This signals their parents to know they're hungry or unhappy or uncomfortable. However, they will soon begin the process of requiring language. The first stage begins a few weeks after the birth. At this stage, babies start to make cooing noises when they're happy. After about 4 months, they begin to babble. Babies around the world begin to babble around the same age, and they all begin to make the same kind of babbling noises. By the time they're 10 months old, however, the babbling of babies from different regions speaking different languages background may sound different. For instance, the babbling of a baby growing up in a Chinese house may sound different from the babbling of um, a baby growing up in an English speaking house. Babies begin a new stage of language development when they start to speak their first words. At first, they invented their own words for certain things. For example, an English speaking baby may say Baba for ball or Kiki for cat. In the next few months, babies will acquire a lot of words. These words are usually the names of objects that are in the baby's environment, words for food or toys, for example. They'll begin to use these words to communicate with others. For example, if a baby holds up an empty juice cup and says, juice, the baby seems to be saying, I want more juice, or may I have more juice? This word juice is really a one-word sentence. The next stage of language acquisition begins about 18 months, when babies begin to say two-word sentences. They use a kind of grammar to put words together somehow. The babies produce what is called telegraphic speech, meaning they leave out all but most essential words. For example, an English baby might say something like Daddy, up, which actually means Daddy, pick me up please. Between 2 to 3 years of age, children learn more and more grammars. They begin to use the past tenses of verbs. In other words, they learn the rules for making the past tense of many verbs. For example, the children begin to say sort of things such as I walked home and I kissed mommy. They also overgeneralize the new grammar rules and make a lot of mistakes. In other words, the children have learned the past tense rules for regular verbs, but they haven't discovered that they can't use these rules for all verbs. Some verbs, like it, are irregular, and the past tense forms for irregular verbs must be learned individually. These mistakes are normal. The children will soon learn to use the past tense for regular and irregular verbs accurately. They then continue to learn other grammatical structures in the same way. If we stop to think about it, it's quite amazing how quickly children all over the world learn their language. It is also fascinating how simple the processes for babies are